y'all, welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. Alright, this is a collective coffee. Yesterday, I'm looking at this post, breaking House to vote on bill that would punish U.S. citizens with up to $1 million in fines or up to 20 years in prison, drumroll please, for boycotting Israel. Well, that's it. That's all. That's the collective coffee. The more you know. It's wild. Oh, here's another. Prisons and jails versus colleges. This is a United States map. Orange is more prisons than colleges per state, and purple is more colleges than prisons. I'm very surprised that Arizona is purple, honestly, because yesterday we talked about Florence, which has 13 prisons. It's one town in this state. I guess that's all of them. Anyway, that's the map. Remember, orange is more prisons than colleges. And this was like pre this admin, so this is only gonna get more orange. Anyway, a system that makes you pay to exist, compete to eat, and obey to survive is not a civilization. It is a prison with shopping privileges. I say that all the time. I've been saying that. People here in the United States often claim that we are in a free country, but the only thing that's free is if you have enough money, the choices you get to make where you spend it. That's it, that's all. It is the 55th anniversary of Kent State Massacre, if you don't know where that is or what that was. The National Guard murdered 4 students and wounded 9 others for protesting the draft. So during the Vietnam era, civil rights era, the presence of the military on campuses across the country, and the expansion of the Vietnam War into Cambodia. Anyway, this is my Instagram feed, so I just thought I'd get on here and scroll with you for a minute. Here is actual footage of your brain creating new neural pathways during deep healing. Healing isn't just emotional, it's a physical transformation for your brain. So when we decolonize, that's what we're doing. We're creating new pathways. Okay? Your brain is not set in stone like they will tell you it is. We are going to be starting a pretty hefty project today about how to heal from very hard topics. I don't know everything about everything. I haven't experienced some of these things, but we're gonna start that next. So anyway, keep boycotting, keep resisting, keep standing up for what you know is right, keep learning about initiatives that already exist in your area, things that you can do to get plugged in, meet people who are like you, who want a world that is not what is happening right now, and understand that resistance has always existed outside of systemic ways, I guess. That is the revolution. The revolution's creating things. In my opinion, I believe the revolution is existing outside of the system in any capacity, whatever that is. Especially since this system is, what is it doing? What's that word? self-imposing itself. I don't know. But not enough people are taking big steps. So at this point in time, it's important to build locally, network globally, learn about initiatives, build bridges to those things. That's all we can do. You can only control yourself. But keep boycotting, number one. That's wild. What a wild thing. I saw someone make a thread about that thing that they're voting on, and how it can look for small businesses and stuff. And what I just spoke to about freedom being the choice of consumerism is, I mean, that's a really fine line. Like, how are you gonna make people buy shit that they don't want to buy? I mean, unless Israel like takes over everything. But I mean, they already have a lot. I mean, if you are still wondering if the United States has been co-opted by a foreign government or vice versa, I think the thing that's important, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily that. I feel like it's been a partnership, a colonial partnership in two different regions of the world, very underground for so long, and then at this point in time, with the propaganda not working for what's been happening in Palestine since October 7th, at this point it's just the veil has been lifted. Everything is being shown for what it is, you know, the pockets of the people that we've voted into office, with the intention of representing our own rights and stuff as Americans. You know, that was our belief in what we were doing while participating in that. You know, at this point in time, it's blatantly obvious that these are two in the same, and it's become obvious in the past 2 years, as well as who else is involved, right? We can go back to 2023, fall of 2023, from October until December. There was at least one world country hearing, like, voting for the stopping of this. You know, there's been a handful taking things to, you know, this international level, and everyone voting on whether or not Israel was going to stop doing what they were doing and whatnot. So the United States and Israel and a few other countries have completely isolated themselves within this for, you know, I'm going to keep it so fucking for real with you. I mean, people are going to think this is a conspiracy theory because it's such a broad, large statement, but this is world domination we're talking about. This is, you know, the reason that there have been world wars in the past is because of shit like this. So for there not to be a world war at this point in time, with the information that the global collective, us, can see, right, is wild. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. But anyway, keep boycotting. Point blank period. You know, oligarchy is making the rich richer. You know, this is going to be an enslavement for more capital gain. And what these powers are doing is, we've already talked about this with that collective coffee we did on World War III logistics, but to me it's very obvious that all of this legislation that's happening here in the United States, what this administration is doing, I mean, they're making it impossible for poor folks, for oppressed folks to even live, and if they do live, it's going to be in an incarcerated state. I don't mean state as in like Alabama, I mean state as in like state of being, incarceration, for labor, right? Because that's the 13th Amendment. When, you know, slavery is illegal, except for if someone has committed a crime. So how do you get more people to commit crimes? You pass more arbitrary laws that are absolutely ridiculous. I would say the other R word. I love it, but I don't mean disrespect. Anyway, it was big in the 90s. So you pass more laws to make more criminals, to funnel more people into the system. I just saw a meme yesterday also about how much the private prisons have made on immigrants that they've locked up. and I think it's about $110 per person per day, or something like that. So, you know, whatever you can do to disengage from these things, boycott, divest. Right, that's what the students are doing to the schools. That's why they keep setting up the encampments. They're like, please divest from, you know, research projects, militarization, whatever you're doing to support Israel. So now that they've put this boycotting Israel into law, now that equals more criminals to put into the system. Okay, so it keeps generating more potential labor within enslavement. Again, because slavery is legal according to the 13th Amendment. I said 10 because I'm thinking of when we did the decolonizing. We did go to the daily decolonizing playlist. I did a decolonizing about the 10 original amendments. But the thing that's interesting is that how can, because right now what this administration is doing, and again, it's not just Trump. Trump is an idiot. These are very calculated people behind the scenes writing this shit, legislation, corporations, Zionists, whatever, to weed out any sort of rebels, right? I mean, go watch Star Wars. May the 4th be with you today. Go watch The Hunger Games. Go watch V for Vendetta. If you want to understand how the systems work, and get a glimpse at, you know, the powers that be. But ultimately, I mean, it's very easy for me to see this. They're corralling more prison labor camps and whatnot, and so they're just kind of filing through all of the unwanted, undesirables, and they're gonna go through us each until we're all, you know, unless we choose to take ourselves out, which is very Hunger Games of us, or OG, right, or whatever. I know I'm not going to be enslaved. I know I'm not going to be raped and having anyone else's babies. Not for these motherfuckers. I will be slicing dicks and taking myself out before I do any of that. But that's just me. You can do what you want. I'm just putting this here. I hope you have a good one. It's very obvious what's happening. And watch the collective coffees that I'm posting if you would like more insight on. We pull back to a macro scale, and then we, you know, bring it back into a micro and like understand how we're impacted. So don't let the fear get to you. These people are the dumbest people on the planet, okay? Yeah, they're calculated, yeah, but honestly, all of this is stemming from some sort of supremacy, and supremacy itself, when there's that I need to be supreme, that is a very low vibrational, low intelligence, okay? So yeah, there might be some smarty pants making the writings and stuff, but they're probably enslaved too, honestly. These people are dumb. Again, it doesn't take intelligence to be violent. That's why they're violent. So, get right with your creator, whatever you believe, come into consciousness, heal your heart, you know where you stand. Know that you're on the right side of history. I mean, that's all you can do. And keep boycotting, motherfuckers. Alright, have a good one.